Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Hi, folks. Welcome back. And those of you that are new, welcome. Yeah, this is a back and forth with a reporter with the new Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy. You can barely hear her, but basically her question was defending Adam Schiff and Eric Swalwell. And doing some investigating for this episode, I had the discomfort of discovering that Eric Swalwell and I have the same birth date, November 16th. And for that, I am terribly annoyed. Yeah, I figured I couldn't get somebody decent, right? I always got to get the scumbags that are, it's just the way it is. But anyway, he was trying to tell this reporter, she was saying, well, not having Schiff and Swalwell on the Intelligence Committee, Schiff being the former chairman, that's disrespectful of their voters who elected him and blah, 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 blah. And he's telling them why. He's not barring them from other committees. He's just barring them from Intel. And I think McCarthy makes an excellent case. Let's listen.
Okay, let me be very clear and respectful to you. You ask me a question. When I answer it, it's the answer to your question. You don't get to determine whether I answer your question or not, okay? In all respect. Thank you. No, let's answer her question. You just raised a question. I'm going to be very clear with you. The Intel Committee is different. You know why? Because what happens in the Intel Committee, you don't know. What happens in the Intel Committee, although the secrets are going on in the world, other members of Congress don't know. What did Adam Schiff do as the chairman of the Intel Committee? What Adam Schiff did, use his power as a chairman and lie to the American public. Even the Inspector General said it. When Devin Nunes put out a memo, he said it was false. When we had a laptop, he used...
Eric Swalwell, and especially Adam Schiff as chairman of the Intel Committee, remember he held up an envelope, I have proof that Donald Trump colluded with the Russians. As the chairman of the Intel Committee, I am privy to things that even most of Congress isn't privy to. And I've seen in reports and sworn testimony that Donald Trump and blah, 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 blah. The Hunter Biden laptop was Russian misinformation. Knowing as a chair of the Intel Committee, he was briefed on the fact that that's not true. And he knew it. He knows about things and secrets as chairman and even being on the Intel Committee that even the average congressman doesn't know. And he used that to go after a sitting president. You hate Donald Trump's guts, that's your prerogative. You know, that's your problem. But you got to lie and have false impeachment. There was no Russian collusion. None. It never existed. And he used his chairmanship of the Intel Committee to lie. And then we can go on about Eric Swalwell with his little relationship with the Chinese spy. What's her name? Fang Fang or Feng Feng or whatever. Let's listen on.
Before an election to be politics and say that it was false and said it was the Russians. When he knew different. When he knew the Intel. If you talk to John Radcliffe, DNI, he came out ahead of time and says there's no intel to prove that, and he used his position as chairman, knowing he has information the rest of America does not, and lied to the American public. When a whistleblower came forward, he said he did not know the individual, even though his staff had met with him and set it up. So no.
Yeah, this supposedly whistleblower supposedly came to the Democrats and said, I have all this information on Trump and all sorts of other things. Well, it was all a setup. They were groomed by the staff. It's like a bad movie, but unfortunately it's the reality. And it's dealing with the intelligence collection of this country that's put our country and our citizens in danger. This isn't a joke. This isn't like the Agriculture Committee somewhere. Nothing against agriculture, but it's nothing against the other committees. The Intelligence Committee is one of the top committees besides the Judicial Committee. Those two are the committees that affect millions of people and the security of this nation.
He does not have a right to sit on that. But I will not be like Democrats and play politics with these, where they removed Republicans from committees and all committees. So yes, he can serve on a committee, but he will not serve on Intel because it goes to the national security of America. And I will always put them first, all right? And if you want to talk about Swalwell, let's talk about Swalwell, because you have not had the briefing that I had. I had the briefing and Nancy Pelosi had the briefing from the FBI. The FBI never came before this Congress to tell the leadership of this Congress that Eric Swalwell had a problem with a Chinese spy until he served on Intel.
Isn't that interesting? The FBI knew about the fact that Swalwell had a relationship with a Chinese spy, but they never said anything until he was put on the Intelligence Committee. And Nancy Pelosi allowed him to do it anyway. Well, the relationship was over by then, blah, blah, blah. And as soon as I found out that she was could be a Chinese spy, I got a hold of the intelligence service and the FBI, and we sat down and I ended the relationship. The fact of the matter is, to put himself at risk to even be in that position bars him from being on the Intelligence Committee. But it never came out until he was put on the Intelligence Committee, and then it had to come out. And Pelosi knew that, of course.
So it wasn't just us who were concerned about it. The FBI was concerned about putting a member of Congress on the Intel Committee that has the rights to see things that others don't because of his knowledge and relationship with a Chinese spy. They brought it to the works of the leaders. I've got that briefing. So I do not believe he should sit on that committee. And I believe there's 200 other Democrats that can serve on that committee. So this has nothing to do with Santos. Santos is not on the Intel Committee. But you know what? Those voters elected Schiff, even though he lied. Those voters elected Swalwell, even though he lied to the American public too. So you know what? I'll respect his voters too, and they'll serve on committees. But they will not serve on a place that has national security relevance because integrity matters. That's the answer to your question.
Well, there you have it. Pretty simple, actually. They don't deserve to be on the Intelligence Committee because of their background. Swalwell put himself at risk and then lied continuously, knowing what he was saying was a lie. There's a difference between being a cult member and hating Donald Trump, and everything you hear, you believe. The difference was between Schiff and Swalwell was the fact that what they were saying they knew was a lie from their intelligence briefings. They get briefings that even most of Congress don't get. They're in a special, unique position on the Intelligence Committee. So they're not barring Republicans from being on the Intelligence Committee. They're barring Swalwell and Schiff from being on there. And there's a fundamental difference. Like he said, there's 200 other Democrats that could fill that slot. Why are they raising hell? Oh, to make the Republicans are just revengeful. You know what? We'll say it's even revenge. We'll say this is tit for tat. And I say good. I say good. Give it to them as good as you get, plus more. Enough is enough. Republicans have been laying down to these clowns for decades. And that's the one thing that even Republicans, you out there that don't like Donald Trump, have to understand. Donald Trump taught these people how to fight back. And now there's enough MAGA Republicans in the Congress to get the rank and file Republicans to finally fight back. And that, folks, is a very good thing. Until the next time, goodbye and good luck.